Agriculture and the plow. After 9000 BC, a great change came over the world. Previously, humans lived by hunting animals and gathering plants. Then about 8500 BC, people began to grow wheat, barley, peas, and lentils instead of gathering them wild. By 7000 BC, they domesticated sheep, pigs, and goats. By 6000 BC, they also domesticated cattle. By about 4000 BC, people in Central Europe were using oxen to pull plows and wagons. Compared to some of the gleaming, electronic inventions that fill our lives today, the plow doesn't seem very exciting. It's a simple cutting tool used to carve a furrow in the soil, turning it up to expose nutrients and prepare it for planting. Yet the plow is probably the one invention that made all others possible. No one knows who invented the plow or exactly when it came to be. It probably developed independently in a number of regions, and there is evidence of its use in prehistoric eras. Prior to the plow, humans were subsistence farmers or hunter and gatherers. Their lives were devoted solely to finding enough food to survive from one season to the next. Growing food added some stability to life, but doing it by hand was labor-intensive and took a long time. The plow changed all that. Plows made the work easier and faster. Improvements in the plow's design made farming so efficient that people could harvest far more food than they needed to survive. They could trade the surplus for goods or services. And if you could get food by trading, then you could devote your day-to-day existence to something other than growing food, such as producing the goods and services that were suddenly in demand. The wheel. The wheel is another invention so ancient that we have no way of knowing who first developed it. The first wheels were not used for transportation. Evidence indicates they were created to serve as potter's wheels around 3500 BC in Mesopotamia, 300 years before someone figured out to use them for chariots. The oldest wheel and axle mechanism we found near Ljubljana, Slovenia, and dates to roughly 3100 BC. The wheel made the transportation of goods much faster and more efficient, especially when affixed to horse-drawn chariots and carts. However, if it had been used only for transportation, the wheel wouldn't have been as much of a world changer as it was. In fact, a lack of quality roads limited its usefulness in this regard for thousands of years. A wheel can be used for a lot of things other than sticking them to a cart to carry grain, though. Tens of thousands of other inventions require wheels to function, from water wheels that power mills to gears and cogs that allow even ancient cultures to create complex machines. Cranks and pulleys need wheels to work. A huge amount of modern technology still depends on the wheel, like centrifuges used in chemistry and medical research, electric motors and combustion engines, jet engines, power plants, and countless others. The nail. Without nails, civilization would surely crumble. This key invention dates back more than 2,000 years to the ancient Roman period and became possible only after humans developed the ability to cast and shape metal. Previously, wood structures had to be built by interlocking adjacent boards geometrically, a much more arduous construction process. Meanwhile, the screw, a stronger but much harder to insert fastener, is thought to have been invented by the Greek scholar Archimedes in the 3rd century BC. The compass. Ancient mariners navigated by the stars, but that method didn't work during the day or on cloudy nights, and so it was unsafe to voyage far from land. The Chinese invented the first compass sometime between the 9th and 11th century. It was made of lodestone, a naturally magnetized iron core, the attractive properties of which they had been studying for centuries. Pictured as a model of the ancient Chinese compass from the Han Dynasty is the south indicating ladle, or sinan, made of polished lodestone. Soon after, the technology passed to Europeans and Arabs through nautical contact. The compass enabled mariners to navigate safely far from land, increasing sea trade and contributing to the Age of Discovery.